I think that now is the time for the Lakers to go for Zach LaVine of the Chicago Bulls. This would be a dream come true. Going into this upcoming offseason, there is no doubt in my mind the Lakers are going to blow it up. They're going to do something a little bit crazy, whether it's trading away Russell Westbrook or even trading away Anthony Davis. But the point that I'm trying to make in this video is no matter what they do, I want to see the Lakers get a new superstar, and Zach LaVine seems like the perfect option. Zach LaVine right now has become the first option of the Bulls to kind of the second option, or if anything, splitting it between DeMar DeRozan. But what's very interesting about Zach LaVine is going into this summer, he's going to be a UFA, an unrestricted free agent, which means Zach can go to anything that he wants. And with Zach LaVine about to being one of the best free agents available, I know there are so much NBA teams that are going to be heavily pursuing him, whether it's a large contract, doing a sign and trade, and the Lakers are no different. Zach LaVine has been linked to LA Lakers before, and I do believe he'll be linked again in this summer. A lot of Zach LaVine fans right now are wondering, why has Zach not signed a contract extension yet? And the answer is simple, he wants to test open free agency. And the possibility of the Lakers actually receiving Zach, it's actually not impossible. There are so much hints and rumors and of course reports that lead Zach LaVine going to LA a more realistic thing that could be happening very soon. During this past offseason, it was reported that Zach LaVine actually left his former agency and ended up signing a contract with, of course, Clutch Sports, LeBron James' agency. And of course, if you guys don't know, most of the players on the Lakers roster, or if anything, a lot of them are owned by Clutch Sports. Before Anthony Davis got traded from the Pelicans to the Lakers, AD had the exact same situation. He ended up leaving his agency, signing with Clutch Sports, and then of course a massive deal ended up happening in the offseason. I'm not saying that 100% because Zach LaVine signed with LeBron's agency, he's coming to LA. The point is, this gives a reason that it could happen just a little bit more. Another big hint of Zach's interest in playing with the Lakers is this report he had a few years ago during the NBA All-Star Weekend. I want you guys to listen to this report. Check out what Zach LaVine said immediately when Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman were talking to him. Check this out.
You know, there's a lot of dudes out there I'd love to play with, but, you know, is it going to be realistic? You know?
Let's hear both. What's ideal? What's realistic?
You know, everybody wants to play with the best players in the world. You know, I would love to go out there and play with, you know, a dude like LeBron James, you know, but you're not going to get those type of opportunities, I don't think.
Unless you wind up on the Lakers, that's right.
You know, yeah, things like that. But, man, you know, I'd love to play for a point guard, you know. You can get up and down the floor and pass the ball up like that. And, you know, sometimes playing with a dominant big man is great, too, because if you get the double team, you know, it's crazy.
Yup, you guys just heard it. Zach LaVine has interest in playing with LeBron James. Oh boy, this summer it could be happening. And with Zach LaVine right now being only 26 years old, I believe if the Lakers get Zach to of course build for the future with Anthony Davis, I believe it'll be a bang for the buck. They'll be in the same timeline, sign Zach to a long-term deal, and then the Lakers would have a new look super team. So the question now is, how can the Lakers get Zach? I'm saying it's not impossible, but it won't be easy. There's going to have to be a few things that have to take into place to of course get this done. The first thing is the Chicago Bulls would have to know that Zach LaVine does not want to re-sign with them and not stay with the team. That of course is step number one. Zach LaVine himself have to express he does not want to re-sign with the Bulls or stay with the Bulls, and then of course more conversations continue. Which moves on to the Lakers now having to convince the Bulls to work out a sign and trade. A sign and trade, explained simply, is that both teams will sign their players to a decent contract to match salary, and then of course add in the draft picks, add in the assets to of course do a trade as each team gets something in return instead of just not losing a player to walk in free agency. So the Lakers would have to convince the Bulls to do a sign and trade. That is step number 2. And then number 3, convince the Bulls to take Russell Westbrook. Right now, the Lakers' biggest contract is Russell Westbrook, and honestly, they know that in this upcoming summer, whether it's trading away Anthony Davis or Russell Westbrook, they 100% would prefer trading away Russell Westbrook and keeping Anthony Davis. So that's step number 3, convincing the Bulls that even if they're gonna lose Zach LaVine, they'll be able to get Russell Westbrook in return instead of losing Zach LaVine for nothing. So with those 3 steps taken into place, this would ultimately be the sign and trade deal. I believe the Lakers would have to offer up Russell Westbrook, Talon Horton-Tucker, and a bunch of draft picks. Their 2027 first round draft picks, a couple of second round picks in exchange for Zach LaVine, and I do believe Alex Caruso could be coming back to the Los Angeles Lakers, and then throw in players such as, Tony Bradley and maybe even Patrick Williams. This would be an ultimate deal that of course can get the Lakers and the Bulls to do a sign and trade to land Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine will come to the team, join LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then on the Bulls perspective, at least they'll still have DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Lonzo Ball, and then Russell Westbrook to of course help lead that team to a potential playoff run. And I do believe even though they lose Zach LaVine, Russ wouldn't be a bad addition, as they'll still keep them competitive in the Eastern Conference. If the Lakers want to get Zach LaVine via a sign and trade, this would ultimately be the deal. But if I'm going to keep it real, the Bulls would not want Russell Westbrook, which moves me forward to scenario number 2. Scenario number 2 is not a fan favorite, but of course it's the Lakers having to give up Anthony Davis. If you guys don't know already, Anthony Davis has been linked to the Bulls on multiple occasions, because if you didn't know, his hometown is Chicago. And of course, even this year, Anthony Davis had an interview saying that the door of him ever going to Chicago is never going to be closed. He would love to one day play for his hometown. And oh boy, let's say the Lakers feel that they have to trade away Anthony Davis for a Zach LaVine swap, I wouldn't mind doing it, as of course I do believe Zach LaVine is still young too. He's entering his prime and the Lakers can build around him. And on the Chicago Bulls perspective, I do believe they'll be more interested in Anthony Davis than Russell Westbrook for sure. I believe if this is the case, the trade would be simple. It would be a 2-for-2 sign and trade where the Bulls offer up Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso in exchange for Anthony Davis and Kendrick Nunn. I believe this is a more realistic scenario where the Bulls are more interested of getting Anthony Davis instead of Russell Westbrook. Of course, on the Lakers' perspective, they're going to do whatever they can to keep Anthony Davis with LeBron and hope that he stays healthy, and then of course build a big 3 of Zach, AD, and LeBron. But I'm going to say it again, the Bulls have said they're not interested in Russell Westbrook. They would prefer Anthony Davis. So now the question is, Rob Pelinka, are you willing to pull the plug and trade away AD? Is that the time? Is that what you're thinking? Right now, there are rumors. Let's see what Rob Pelinka decides to do in this upcoming offseason. But of course, it won't be easy letting go of AD, as he still has potential. He's still young. It's just his injury history that's bothering a lot of Laker fans. So yes guys, this wraps up my video talking about Zach LaVine and the possibility of him ever going to the Lakers. I do believe it's going to be tough, but it's not impossible. And if Zach LaVine were to leave the Chicago Bulls in this upcoming offseason, it would be insane. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe these trade scenarios are going to be good to land Zach LaVine, or do you believe another team can offer more, or Zach to the Lakers will never happen? I want to know all your thoughts, everything you're thinking. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless. I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Whoa!